college is... It's a freaking mess. I feel like every time I ask someone about their degree now, they get this far off look in their eye. Growing up, every single teacher was talking about college like it was the make or break moment of your life. Either you're going to college and you're going to be successful, or you're going to be working at a drive-thru. Like, it was 2 options, no in between. You've got up until you're like 18 to figure out what you want to do for the rest of your life. Like, I don't think half of my professors even perceived me. Like, I remember waking up one day and I was freaking out because I was like super sick, like barfing my brains out sick. And I was really trying to force myself to go to class. And I had one of my classmates ask me, like, dude, why don't you just like not go? And I mean, all the lectures were uploaded online and I really didn't want to go, so I didn't for the rest of the semester. Like a surprising amount of classes have attendance as optional. Every once in a while, someone will bring up the fact that, you know, you're paying for these courses, so you not going is kind of just cheating yourself, but like, I don't want to go to school. But yeah, there were a couple times I missed a class or two and I would go to the next one like, what does the board say? Guys, I don't recognize these symbols. Guys, someone please speak English. But for every professor that's pretty chill, there's just as many professors who I swear wake up thinking, how do I make this class as physically unbearable as possible? Like, the way they write their syllabus, you would think the only way you could miss the class was in death. And it's always those professors who, instead of being a normal person and letting you buy some used copy of the textbook to save you a few bucks, they make you buy their edition of the book that's like loose printouts held together by a plastic binder, and somehow that copy is like 3 times more expensive. I was really short on cash one year and I didn't have $300 to spare for a textbook. Mind you, it was like 10 pages of differences. So when I went to class and I pulled out the cheaper version of the textbook, the professor stopped me and let me know that if I kept using that version of the book, he was gonna have to drop me a letter grade. Like, I'm sorry? And what made things worse is we never even covered those pages that were different. Like, it didn't matter. And then you can't even resell these books because by the next semester, they're on version 63 or something of the same freaking textbook. And it's always those classes that make attendance mandatory. Like, leave me alone, can't you see? I'm fighting for my life. But there are some professors who take you not showing up to class as like the deepest offense you could have given them. Like, God forbid you miss one day. Might as well drop out like the useless piece of human scum that you are. So, okay. There was this one time where I was acing a class. I was cruising by. It was honestly one of the easiest classes I had ever taken. But when finals came, I got a flat tire. Now, I still wanted to make my class, so I ended up taking a bus instead. And honestly, I was freaking out because this oh so gracious syllabus stated that if you were more than 5 minutes late to the exam, you weren't going to be let inside. But like, surely this is understandable, and I only arrived like 3 minutes late. I took a peek inside and I saw the professor had already started like, proctoring the exam, so I knocked and he hit me with the... But okay, at least he saw me, he knows I'm here, so I waited until he was done doing his thing. And once I saw he sat down, I knocked again. And this guy, he looked me dead in the eyes and pointed at his watch. As if he wasn't the one who told me to wait. So at this point, I was pissed. And I'm not crazy. I waited until after the test to confront him, and he told me that if I had a problem with his decision, I could go speak to a counselor or something. You freaking bet I went to talk to someone. There's no way I'm gonna fail this class for a stupid reason like that. They took his side. No. The test was worth 40% of my grade, so I didn't pass. So to make things worse, this class was a GE. GEs are this magical thing. You know how you pick a major you want to study and make a career out of? So GEs are this super useful thing where you get to take 8 to 10 classes on subjects completely unrelated to what you're studying. Isn't that great? So I was a computer science major, and the class that I failed was chemistry. Like, how stupid is it for me to say that this system makes sense in any way? I wasn't going to get my computer science degree because I failed chemistry. And I just have to be like, yes, obviously that makes sense. And okay, I'm not gonna lie, I kinda erased the whole incident from my mind. Like, I wasn't interested in chem at all, so when they were like, you could take it later, I was like, bet. So when I was in my final semester of college, I obviously got told I wasn't gonna get to graduate and receive my degree. Like, imagine my joy when in my final semester of college, I had 2 classes. My senior project and Chem 101 lab. And look, I can already hear some of you saying that it's kind of my fault for putting it off until the end. But let me introduce you to another one of the best parts of college, and that's picking your classes. So picking your classes basically is going to get to decide whether or not you graduate on time and whether or not you have a normal sleep schedule. I mean, just pick a time slot that works for you. Easy enough, right? Until you go to pick your class and then you realize your required course only has 1 slot that year with 20 seats available. This is with literally hundreds of people waiting to get into the same class as you. Even if you somehow win the lottery and get into the class, you better pray that it doesn't have any time conflicts with any of your other classes that you also only got into through lottery. What ends up happening is instead of getting to pick, reasonable time slots to be a functional member of society, you end up with literally the worst schedule imaginable. And half the time, you're not even in the class at this point. You're on a waitlist to get to be in the class. There was one time, I ended up getting into like 8 different classes and they all landed on the same 2 days. And at first I thought I was so lucky. I only have to be on campus 2 days a week. I'm gonna have so much free time. When I tell you, that was hands down my worst semester of college. I was in back-to-back classes for like 14 hours straight, and all my tests always landed on the same day. Honestly, it was all a blur. So when I got lucky enough to find time slots for my required courses, I took them. I might have had to be on campus at midnight a couple times, but it's fine. I only got robbed once. Oh, and then the class actually ended up filling up before I can get into it, so I almost actually didn't graduate because of it. I had to go basically beg. Please have mercy, please. I need this. And look, I know this all just kind of comes off like me ranting, and I mean, it kind of is, but college genuinely did have some of the best memories I ever had. And I'm not going to pretend that my degree hasn't helped me. It definitely helped me get my career started, but as time goes on, that piece of paper really does feel like it matters less and less. Honestly, I guess it depends what you want to study, whether or not going to college is right for you. Despite me wanting to strangle someone when I think about the things college put me through, I wouldn't be where I am without it.